Introducing Charlie Steinlauf and his family. Charlie Jr., Charlie Sr., little Maria, who adds youth and beauty, and as fast as Mr. Steinlauf wears out the seat of his pants, Mrs. Steinlauf puts in a new seat. There's no wear on hers. Yes, Mr. Steinlauf has certainly started something. Say, Bill, do you really need that front wheel? Oh, you don't, eh? Well, keep it on the ground just the same. It looks better that way. So the Steinlauf family and their friends just keep rolling along.
Chicken, egg, chick. And now the cycle's complete in every sense of the word. But although this machine also appears somewhat baby-sized, it's perfectly roadworthy. Who'd actually ride contraptions like these? Why, the little people, of course. That's not a leprechaun, we'll admit, but he could be. He's just as unique. So let's introduce part of, the important part that is, of Mr. Alf Tabb of Kidderminster, riding the smallest rideable bicycle in the world with 3-inch wheels and standing only 5 inches high. Here you'll also meet his 12-year-old granddaughter Pauline, riding a bike almost twice as big, a full 9 inches high. Mr. Tabb is a cycle maker by trade, and the miniatures are his hobby. But his physical prowess is particularly remarkable, especially when you consider his age, 75, believe it or not. Mind you, he's been doing it for a few years now, and Pauline is the 3rd generation to master the technique, even with the old penny farthing. Although the bikes are made from old bits and pieces, they have to be finished properly. All the wheels have ball bearings, for example, because of the strain that's imposed on them. For Alf doesn't just play with them, he uses them in a stage act to raise money for local charities. With the roads getting more crowded every year, we may all have to learn to ride them eventually. Just think, though, no more parking problems.
Man has conquered the moon, probed the planets, defied the stratosphere with his giant jet. And Willie Wilson wants to fly. And this is what he wants to fly in. It's called the Gyro Bike. It's taken Willie 15 months to construct, and he's sure it'll prove the first vehicle for man-powered flight. On a pre-flight trial, Willie put the Gyro Bike through its paces. He wasn't due to fly. This was what Willie called a kiting trial. He pedaled and pedaled, but nothing happened. The belt broke. But Willie's spirit of endeavor lives on.
And you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. Of course, you remember the old jingle. Well, the modern idea of the bicycle made for two is catching on. It does at least stop the girlfriend from talking behind your back. Steered like a car, pedaled like a bike, the new tandem is great fun. Bicycle wheels may cover more ground, but they don't cover it fast enough for this tradesman. When he has a sale, it's always at the back of the bike, and blow the consequences. He's known locally as the man with the flying jib boom.
Cycling, says the handbook, is a pleasure that's simple and cheap. But of course, there's nothing to stop you making it expensive and darn complicated if you want to. Look at this one. Something of everything, and we mean everything. It's the property of Mr. Peter Ballon, and it's taken a year, to say nothing of nearly £300 hard cash, to equip it. Fire extinguisher, electric horns, compass, windshield, 3 headlamps, 8-day clock, but pick them out for yourself. The radio is medium and shortwave, and of course with aerial. Television will follow. After all, you can't cram the thing. And don't think he just pedals it along. He's not that tough. There's a miniature motor to take him away from it all. But, brother, who said you can't take it with you?
A strange craze is gripping the world of the two-wheeler. And bikes these days come in all shapes and sizes. And since everything Victorian is also very much the rage, there's a fad for penny farthings. But a 77-year-old bone shaker needs some boarding. So it probably isn't the thing for even the most daredevil, trouser-suited young girl. So if she insists on one large wheel and one small, there's an easy answer. The farthing penny. The handlebars go around the back of what they call the donkey bike, but you don't need a carrot to make it go. And they've made it collapsible, so girls who get fed up with fads can fold it up and board a bus. Just like that. And if you think a bike on a bus is a strange but handy advantage, it's just as easy to bung the donkey bike in the boot. So where the traffic jams start, your problems end. And for the more conventionally minded bike riders, the handlebars do go round the other way. Pete Newby here is really a folk singer, and he saw the donkey bike on a visit to Frankfurt. The Germans call it the Mehrsweg Gesundheitsfahrrad, or multiple-use mobile health apparatus, because they take their cycling very seriously, saying you should ride with a straight back. That's the whole idea behind putting the handlebars round the other way. Pete Newby thinks it's time British cyclists sat up straight too. So sit up and take notice. Health aid or not, the donkey's a bike that could be a boon in busy streets. Even if it isn't ideal for the long-distance ride, there are people who say the traffic problem would dissolve overnight if we took to pedaling on two wheels. Or in this case, 1 1/4.
Ernie Winter reckons he's hit on the last thing in cycling. Let the pedals drive a propeller, not the wheels, and he expects to go so fast he'll have to be careful not to take off. In Ealing, the nearest they allow to aviation is flights of fancy. So far, Ernie isn't quite satisfied with the screw, and his best speed is no more than 20 miles an hour. But never mind, the first aeroplane didn't fly the Atlantic, did it? So if you see something strange overhead someday, it may easily be Ernie.
It's being demonstrated by Miss Evelyn Hamilton. That's part of her, I think. Champion lady cyclist, who's seen taking off the handbrake before the great adventure. The inventor claims that the steering wheel gives one a car complex at a fraction of the price. Now we're off. And one good point you'll observe is that the rider hasn't to sit crouched over the handlebars, which aren't there. Here they come, motorbikes without the motor.